So, boys, this is the watching of the Smash Brothers documentary about Super Smash Bros. It's what got me into competitive Smash, which got me into streaming, which got me here where I am today. Would not be here without this that we're going to watch right now. That's literally true. That's true for a lot of people as well, including Zane. You guys know Zane. I used to sponsor him. Mogul Move Zane. He won Genesis. He's like the best melee player in the world right now. He started playing Smash because of this game, and now he's the best player in the world. It's kind of insane that he is the second most famous person to come from this Smash doc and the second most successful one as well. That's impressive. Second place isn't bad, Zane. It's not bad. Don't sell yourself short here. As the most famous person to come from this documentary, let's go ahead and watch it together. Okay, let's do it. Wait, I need to listen to the full thing. It's like the THX sound to me.
Today, a friend of the producer is coming over to play Smash Brothers Melee.
How you doing? Pretty good. Yourself? Yep. Good.
He considers himself to be pretty good, having played the game for several years. What he doesn't know is he's about to play Korean DJ, one of the greatest Melee players of all time.
I don't think I've watched this in 18 months.
Oh. Whoops.
Each player has 4 lives or stocks, and must take all of his opponent's stocks to win. KDJ will lose 3 on purpose.
Oh, Fox is so awesome.
Knowing what I know, what a rude thing to say. Fox is so awesome.
This game again?
Now, he will try.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Crush it. This dude is known for getting dunked on the most out of any human in the world. If I saw him, I'd recognize his face only for losing a game. I feel bad.
I want to introduce you to Korean DJ, who is one of the greatest Smash Brothers players of all time.
That's the reaction meeting any Smasher. It's because you don't... Oh, cool.
KDJ then invited the cameraman to fight.
The Nate Robinson of Smash? Come on, bro.
And then the producer.
1v3? 1v3, imagine?
Nice.
That's Sam Ox, by the way. He's the guy who made this documentary.
My God!
How can one man beat 3
How
people?
Is it possible for someone to be so fast and so precise that even 3 opponents would be no match? This is about a game that was never designed to be played at a competitive level.
In college, I hustled my
And
my
the people
roommates.
who discovered just how far the game could go.
I 1v3'd for 20
Well, I've never
bucks.
heard your name before, so go suck a dick.
I lost,
People behind me just screaming.
and then I doubled the bet and won.
But mostly, this is about the 7 greatest players who, in their time, ruled the world.
To be fair, it was hard.
Smash, like as a whole, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Wife is so good in this documentary.
John Salty Snacks presents.
Okay, so wait, people are calling me grimy. I 1v3'd people in college, and I lost the first one, and then I won the second one with more money, and then he got really mad at me because he thought I hustled. I didn't actually hustle. I just want to be clear, I didn't actually hustle. They played like pussies because they didn't have team attack on, so one guy was Samus in the back charging up his rocket, and he would shoot it through his teammates, and his teammates would just be walls And then I kept dying. And so it was...
A brief history of Smash. It was
Easy
the turn
20.
of the century, and everyone was bored. Bored, that is, until Masahiro Sakurai invented a brilliant new way to legally beat your children. Super Smash Bros. Melee for Nintendo GameCube. Since then, everything has been just hunky-dory.
Bring back Hunky
When
Dory.
Smash Brothers Melee was released, it was intended to be a party game. Something your family could play together. Something designed for the casual gamer.
Old people gaming, dude.
The game was stocked with Nintendo characters most people would recognize. Donkey Kong,
I love that monkey.
Mario, Bowser, and some few would recognize Captain Falcon.
I guess I really only know him from
Sheik.
Smash. You should know Sheik. You're not a real gamer if you don't.
Marth,
Never played a Fire
Fox.
Emblem.
The game itself was unique in a world of 2D fighters.
I liked that it was easy to pick up. Like Street Fighter, you had to know shit combos. This game, you could just play and have fun.
There's just a fluidity to it that normal 2D fighters don't have. Not to say 2D fighters are bad or anything. Disclaimer.
You know, other games, you got the charge moves, quarter circles.
Smash, you make up your own combos. It's, you know, it's all about the physics. It's almost like a sandbox fighting game.
Of course, because I had fun, I then started taking it seriously. And it's like, shit, there are combos in this too. And it's actually a lot broader, I guess, than most fighting games, because it isn't just memorizing inputs. You have to think a lot more, judge where people are going.
Everybody's like, it's going up. It's supposed to go the other way, and then they die. Yeah, it's confusing.
Oh, yeah, the percentage. It's not at all like any other fighting game.
That's not confusing anymore, right? No one's confused about that in 2020. Literally, no one is confused. Smash is like one of the largest games of all. Maybe back then, I don't know what happened 7 years ago, but nobody is like, wait a second? If anything, you play other games where it goes down and you're confused. That's weirder.
Get hit, or when things hit you, or like when you fall or whatever, your percentage goes up, and that means that the next time someone hits you, you'll go a little bit farther. And then when you go far enough that you leave the box,
Chat,
that's the stage, 'cause
relax.
the stage is really a box, then you die.
There's a lot of strategy in just making sure people don't come back onto the stage once you knock them off. You can kill people at 0% or like 1% if you just play it really smart and trick them into doing something. Whereas other fighting games, you can't really have that small tactical advantage. Like,
True.
you have to kind of chip away at them constantly.
True.
Out of 649 GameCube games,
That's-
Melee was by a wide margin the most popular. But despite the insistence that it should be a casual experience, a few players saw it as much more than that. And they took it to another level.
I first picked up the game when it came out, obviously. I was there waiting in line, and I guess it would have been Best Buy, and brought it back and played all the challenges, you know, one by one, event mode. Fell in love instantly.
Event mode is hard.
And it was even better than 64,
I couldn't beat it
which
today.
I also played all the time with my friends. It was fantastic, and I've been playing it for a couple of years when we found out about tournaments, that they hosted tournaments for the game. I thought it was just it was a one-time thing. It was for fun. It was silly, and we went to Live or Die. It was our first tournament. It was a crap show. Honestly, it was crowded and it was smelly, and I did really, really, really poorly. And
That'll be your experience for pretty much every tournament you go through. Like everything he said, that holds up.
And it was frustrating, but that was it. You know, it was just like turning on a light.
No past tense here.
We were trash, just trash compared to these people. And that was very exciting for us. Once I realized where I was on the spectrum of this game, how far down I was, that the training started right away.
Welcome to Smash Brothers Training. Today you will learn the first advanced technique ever discovered.
Wave dashing.
Wave dashing. What the hell is a wave dash?
Wave
I love the way he
dashing.
says it.
This
What the hell is a
Samus.
wave dash?
Besides being a robot bounty hunter, she is also an accomplished dancer. By jumping and then quickly
BP hop?
dodging into the ground, she can transfer her momentum into a slide, speeding up her combos and increasing her movement options. Despite this, she still cannot do the robot. That's all for now. See you next time.
Good one, Sandbox.
Players learned how to use wave dashing and other advanced techniques to speed up the
I
game
love
to the
that
point
combo.
where it basically got ridiculous. Most people figure that we put in about 6 or 7 inputs per second, which is roughly about the same as professional StarCraft. It kind of broke the boundaries that people expected to see in Smash.
There aren't set combos. There aren't a list that somebody somewhere
Should I go on the
decided
right?
what you can do. You can do whatever you want to with your character. You compare it to sports. You compare it to basketball or football, where a person is in control of every movement of their body. And while the video game is just a series of zeros and ones, everybody looks different. I can watch a video of a Marth. I can tell you whether it's Ken or Neo or Azen. You can see the style in a person's character, and that to me is incredible.
You know, I've ran tournaments for MLG, I've ran Men Challenge, I've ran Tekken, I've ran Halo, I've ran Gears of War, I've Rainbow Six, Shadowrun, Smash Brothers Melee, Smash Brothers Brawl. So I've ran and been around a lot of high caliber games, and I've seen them all, and I think Melee is one of the deepest and most intricate games you can ever play competitively.
True.
Which is crazy for a game made by Nintendo that wasn't supposed to be competitive with cartoon characters, but it just kind of was like a beautiful accident.
Although Melee has advanced considerably, for the first few years there were no guidelines.
You thought he looked like Mizzy?
The first to uncover and master these techniques would instantly become
No
the
way.
most dangerous player.
Did you just call him Chris?
Holy shit.
Something.
No,
It's not Come on, Azen.
Dude, I love
We
Azen.
weren't really serious about it. I mean, we had fun with it, but the moment where it changed from like just casual play to competitive was when my brother met Azen at school. The biggest thing about him that I've gotten over now, which I guess is why I didn't start with it, but is just the fact that he's like freakishly good at video games. Like he just has this knack for being able to figure a game out and apply the best tactics immediately. This old school MMORPG called Growl. He was like top 2 ranked, he said, in the PvP servers of that worldwide. Pokemon Puzzle League, top scores in almost every mode. It was also just different genres. I mean, you got an MMO, you got a fighting game, and then you got a puzzle game, like, and he's just nailing like all 3 genres. We would just go to Fest and we'd be playing games for fun, and he's still like whooping our ass in them. Like, we're playing Mario Party over here, and he's just fucking like winning all the mini games. It's something, like I said, that I'm used to now, but it's still like, when I go back and think about it, it's like fucking incredible to think about. It seems like any game that he puts time into and cares about, he will get sick at.
I was the worst gamer in my friend group. I was the
Crews weren't
anti-Azen.
really like heavily established at the time. We were kind of one of the forerunners actually, because we wanted to show that as a group we had the most skill compared to any other
I'm
group
not
of
still-
players. And Chu had joined our crew because we had met him at another tournament, and he started coming to our fest. And that's pretty much what started like the whole crew rivalry aspect, probably, was the fact that we had this other group of players. And they were, you know, they also had like a name. They were very like established. We had seen their placements over tournaments.
At the time when Melee came out, this game called Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance came out. And we were just being silly about it. It's like, yo, we should just call ourselves Deadly Alliance. Everyone was the king of their town. Like Mike G, he was like the king of Queens. Kamal, he's like the king of Brooklyn. And me and Jason, we was like the kings of Manhattan. And then we also met Killer R. He was the king of Harlem. There was this guy named Brandon. His name is B. He pretty much knew about H2IL. And then he's like, yo, these guys, they're real good and everything. And he was the pretty much person networking between, you know, both crews.
He's just like, yeah, they're all like 20-year-old dudes from like the Bronx. And we're like, wow. Like,
I was like, yo, forget this, man. We're gonna go over there, we're gonna destroy the whole crew.
we're just like these high school kids playing Smash
Let's
Brothers.
fuck up
And, like,
these
are, like,
14-year-old kids.
Fucking 20-year-old, like, inner city people just like bringing out like hardcore trash talk. If I ever told people at school or anything about like, oh, I go to tournaments, and they're like, oh, that's lame. I'm like, oh, yeah? Well, let me show you this motherfucker West that goes to these tournaments. He's a fucking badass.
We was talking smack to each other, you know. We actually meet, and the next thing you know, Azen, he was pretty much beating my whole team.
That whole night, Azen was like wrecking them, but they actually beat the rest of our crew for, you know, overall. And
it was funny. He was even beating Dave with like Pichu. Because he would do like gimmicks. Like just throwing you off the ledge and just gimping you.
Damn, as in a goat.
He'd just do stuff like that to Dave, and Dave was like, oh, Asin's too good, I can't beat him, because that's how Dave is. Like, once a player is good and starts beating him, he starts like sucking their balls or whatever you want to call it. And the thing that Asin had over
That
us
is
at
what
the
we
time
call
is
it.
because he knew about L canceling before us. So he was able to do moves like, you know, L cancel his moves to stop the delay on moves before before us.
With his smart play and technical
That's crazy
mastery,
he knew about that
Asin had
and
emerged
didn't
as
tell
the best
people.
player on the East Coast. But across the country, a battle was brewing for best in the Golden State.
Tournament Go was one of the very first tournament series. It was really the first kind of national tournament
I
series
guess
we
Z
ever had in our
canceling
community.
existed.
It was
True,
Mac
true,
Easy.
true, true,
He
true.
would just throw tournaments in his house, and you know, it'd be some setups on the middle floor, some setups on the bottom floor, and everyone would sleep there. Like, this guy would just house anyone that would fly in from anywhere or drive in from anywhere. He would give you a place to stay. They'd set up tents outside in his backyard, and it was like, I don't know, like Woodstock of gaming or something, where like all these people would show up and he'd be super friendly and open his house to them and house them for a weekend just to throw Smash tournaments. Vociferous, you know, was a guy who played Sheik back then and was just the strongest player. Like, he had won Tournament Go's the first couple of them. By default, he was, you know, considered the best player in the nation. I think we kind of had, not an arrogant community, but like we definitely knew we were really good at what we did. And the first story about Ken is like, you know, this guy like randomly posts that he won a GameStop tournament or some random tournament and he can't be beat in this game. And the thing about that, saying that, is everyone says that. Like, they beat their friends and they're unbelievable at this game and they will never lose. And I've seen it at so many tournaments, and these guys just get absolutely like crushed, like torn apart, like leave it with like, you know, a tail between the legs. Like, it was the same thing for Ken.
What is
like,
he doing?
Some guy that wasn't part of our community was like, I'm really good at this game. There's no way you'll beat me.
I was just a small fish in a pond. I didn't know anything about the ocean yet, so Matt Deasy, you know, he saw that post and he actually contacted my brother on AM afterwards and wanted to do a money match. They thought it was going to be easy money, so $25 became $50, $50 became $100, and then eventually it became the $200 money match off the bat. To tell you the honest truth, I didn't even have the money at the time, and I still money matched them.
I've done the same thing.
Like 6,
It's
7
grimy,
hours, NorCal to SoCal.
but still
I
pog.
played Vociferous first. He was like doing all these advanced techniques, like wave dash, catching items on air. I was like, how did you do that?
Oh, they used items back then.
I just had to rely on my instincts to take me through. I ended up beating Vociferous. Matt Deasy and Vociferous' face it was priceless. It was a funny thing because Matt Deasy's like, oh, okay, I guess I'm next. And Matt Deasy would pick Corneria and then run to the one side of the ship and just constantly spam lasers
Dude, he was
at me.
that guy.
And I couldn't hit him. Every single time I'd approach him, he'd run to the other side and shoot more lasers at me. I realized like I had to adapt to that. So I found out that once I grabbed Matt Deasy, he wasn't able to run. So once I grabbed him, I was able to hit him.
I'm sorry. That is crazy that was a thought process he had to have. If I grab him, he will no longer be able to run. All I have to do is grab it. That's crazy.
Aren't you guys the
that
best?
was a thought process.
Doesn't that make me the best now? And Matt Deasy said, no, just because you beat us in a money match doesn't make you the best. You have to win TG4. I host TG4, you have to win that. That's what makes you the best. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll have to go to TG4 and win that. I don't know about underground tournaments. You know, I thought it was going to be like EVO where they hosted it like, you know, at an auditorium or something where there's like stages and whatnot. But it was hosted at Matt Deasy's house. Like, I saw all these smashers. He was housing like most of them. So they were like, I saw him sleep on the ground. And I was like walking in there. I'm like trying to avoid smashers. They've heard of me. Like Matt Deasy and Vociferous were telling people about me, like how I was. So they wanted to see it. I tore through the whole entire tournament.
Let's go.
After people saw my skill, a lot of people actually dropped out of the tournament.
I love that line. Who drove to someone's house, slept over in a fucking floor, and then dropped out?
Last match of the day is me versus Vociferous.
That's cat, bro. I can't play him. Hey, shout out to the chocolate LG.
I ended up beating him. My parents really never supported me playing video games, especially at a competitive level. They would always tell me, like, there's no way you're gonna be the best at this game. You know, there's always gonna be someone better than you. I'm one of those guys who want to prove people wrong. If you tell me I can't do that, I want to show you that I can do it. So when I came home from TG4 and I showed them a lot of cash, they're like, oh, that's beginner's luck. That's beginner's. There's no way you can win another tournament.
Ken emerged from TG4
Why
as
is
the
Kansas on the
undisputed
map and not
champion of the
Texas?
West. So it seemed that Ken and Asen were set on a collision course, with only a matter of time before they faced one another in the ultimate showdown.
Oh, what a Pepe jam. I love you, PC Chris.
What's a job?
Next time is now.